A good doctor listens. If he doesn't have time to sit and listen with you, then I don't think that you should go back to him anymore. Because when they listen, then that means that they really want to take care of you. With my rheumatoid arthritis, it took about 6 years before they could figure out just what the problem was. And I do have a very good physician right now. And she sits and she listens, and she tries to figure it out. And when one step doesn't work, she goes to plan B. And if plan B doesn't go well, then she goes to plan C, and she tries to figure it out. So a good doctor will want to help you. There's been a few doctors that I didn't like because they wouldn't help me find what was wrong with me when I went in to talk with them, and I got rid of them right away. I said I wouldn't go back there again.
I think, it takes a while to get to know somebody, and so you kind of have to get to know them and get to know what their issues are, so to speak, and why they might be afraid of the doctor. He put me on this tetracycline medicine for a year. It didn't work. Or mistrusting of the doctor, find out if they've had a bad experience or if they've been told something in the past that wasn't correct. And it might even be that at the time what they were told seemed correct, but then we learned that it wasn't right later.
Last year, they showed this man-tube tuberculosis test back when I was a kid. They used to run false positive, but we didn't know that. So the doctor kept thinking that I had tuberculosis. But then when I was 13, we had a tuberculosis test done, and after that, it never showed positive again. So I don't know if they had a new and improved version of the test or what.
So it kind of, in retrospect, makes it look really bad, and so then the person can take that, well, the doctor didn't know what they were talking about, so this doctor's not going to know either.
He would put me under this lamp thing to make my acne go away, and I would come out of there and I'd look like a red raccoon. They said to me, "Geraldine, where have you been?" And I said, "Oh, I went to go to the dermatologist so that I could get my face to look better." And so Sister Bernadette had to call my mom and tell my mom that that was really bad for my skin and that I really probably shouldn't go back there again.
Sometimes not being sure, or a lot of the time not being sure of the diagnosis and having to make an educated guess and telling the patients that. I don't know that it's not stressful whether I know or don't know the information. I think what's stressful is whether I know how to find that information for the patient, So if I know that someone else is going to know or be able to take care of the problem, I don't feel nearly as stressed as when I'm sort of in a quandary, like who could help me, or what resource could help me, or what reference book, or what internet site. So that would be stressful, as if I don't even know where to begin to get the information. Sometimes we don't ever get to the diagnosis. We look, and the best that we can do is say it's not certain things.
They thought it was gout, but they kept saying, "You don't fit the protocol for gout." He says, "I think you need to go see my friend. She's a rheumatologist. I think you need to go visit her."
Well, of course, there's always that academic thing. We all went to medical school and we took the multiple choice test and we filled in the bubbles, and everyone wants to have the right answer. But I think, for me, even more is just seeing the person healthy again, healthy for them, whatever that is, doing the things that they need to do to live their life, whether it's going to school or going to work or being a partner to somebody, that their relationships are intact. So, there's always that little kind of pride about having the right diagnosis, but I think that's really secondary to making someone feel better, because so many times we don't get the diagnosis, but if we can help them feel better and do better, or maybe we do have the right diagnosis, but we can't make it go away, or we can't make it 100% better, but if we can help someone in another way. So I guess that's kind of more where I get my satisfaction.
I was sick as a kid. I had a lot of fevers, and I had rheumatic fever as a child. Very, very bright red cheeks. I can still feel my cheeks really red like that. I think I was 3 or 4 at that point. And then because I had rheumatic fever, about a year later, I got sick. I had a stomach ache. I always had a stomach ache. I think just because I didn't like school. But anyways, I had a stomach ache this one day, and my mother said that I could stay home. Oh, biggest stomach ache I ever had. And Mom called Dr. Jacobs. He was the family doctor. All the aunts and uncles, we all went to this. They all took their kids to the same doctor. And he did house calls back then. So Mom hated to call Dr. Jacobs, but she did. And she said, I don't know, Geraldine's not feeling very well. So he says, leave her, lay low, and I'll be there at 11 o'clock to come see you. Well, at 10:30, there was an exercise program on, and I was bored. So I decided to exercise. And my mother said that I wasn't sick. I'd have to go to kindergarten that afternoon. But Dr. Jacobs came in anyways. I got the chicken pox. Big time I got the chicken pox. Oh, so itchy. I remember it so well. Mom was ready to sell tickets I was on display. I had to lay on the couch. That's the only place that I felt comfortable. And then every hour and a half I had to go in the bathtub with baking soda water because I was that itchy. Oh my God, I'm itching already thinking about it. But we had to call Dr. Jacobs for that one too. Dr. Jacobs came to the house. Oh my, he said, you have really got the chicken pox. So that took about 2 weeks to go away. But he gave me, I had to wear gloves, and he gave me medicine so that I wouldn't itch, and he told me to put the calamine lotion on. Told my mother all this. My mother would put the calamine lotion on. I looked like a pink leopard because I had so much pink stuff all over me, and you couldn't see my skin. I had so many chicken pox. Ugh, it was ugly. The next experience with a doctor was when my husband had cancer, and that was a very, very scary experience. Well, you know, I thought I was going to lose him, and I was young. I was only 30. And I had this 13-month-old little baby, and it was very scary, but Dr. Lieberman was his name, and he was a marvelous doctor, and he gave us, both my husband and I, a lot of support. And my husband did have chemotherapy, and had to have some surgery, and it was a long summer, but we got through it, and we had support from our family, and we had support from the medical people in our life, and a lot of positive mental attitude, as they say, and a lot of prayer, and he did get through that. And it's been a long time since he was diagnosed with that cancer, but he's cancer-free now. So I did have trust in them back then, and I believe that if I didn't have trust in them, that I don't think